All right, everybody join me in welcoming Amanda Wolf-Schramm to the show. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great.
And I should have mentioned you're softball coach.
I am a softball coach, yes.
So let's talk about girls' sports first, because there seems to be an explosion in girls' sports. Have you seen that?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I guess for me, I feel like I've seen it in a progression even in my own life as a player, right? And I think I told you this story before about when I was getting recruited in college, about how I went to 2 SEC schools, and you know their facilities are nothing like today, right? I mean, they were very low as far as their facilities go, and Kentucky and Ole Miss each said the SEC, like softball is going to blow up, the SEC is going to run softball and collegiate softball. Like, we are putting in that much money, that much focus into this sport right now. And they said it's going to blow up. Yeah. And that was in 2001, right? When that conversation happened, when I was getting recruited, and it did. In a matter of 5-6 years, it absolutely did. And so having that, right, as a kid, have that conversation, to watch in the 90s of Olympic softball when it came in 96. I watched, I went to Waco, Texas to watch softball, and then now today to watch in not only softball, but in basketball, right? Volleyball is huge, right? But I'm focusing on softball. I mean, it's crazy how it has blown up and how everybody today loves watching it, right? Yeah. Male, female, everybody, whether you play softball. I mean, people love it. I get texts all the time. They're like, I love this sport. Yeah. I wish my kid played, like that kind of thing.
And now there's a pro league too.
And now there's a pro league, and the best are behind it. And we've got the MLB now behind it. And I think hopefully that we have the backers now to really make it happen. Yeah, definitely.
So let's talk about Smithson Valley, because, it's one of those situations where winning begets winning. Yeah. Y'all have a lot going on there. Between finally Larry Hill getting his state championship, which was amazing, and talk about your team, because y'all did great.
Yeah, I've said this before. One of the reasons why I wanted to come to Smithson Valley is I wanted to be a part of the culture that the Daigles, who were the former coaches before me, from a softball perspective, but then I also wanted to be a part of what Coach Hill had created at Smithson Valley. And he's just a standard of excellence. And I tell people all the time, Coach Hill is the kind of person that you want to raise the bar for him because of the leadership that he has in that administration role. I mean, it's amazing. When you're on campus there and you're in it, it just has a different feel. And I think we just all have that expectation of excellence in everything, academics, athletics, and that's a lot of from what Coach Hill, I mean, it is from what Coach Hill has done there.
Yeah, I love that whole school. My kids were raised in the Wimberley School District. Right. And, we saw it then. We totally saw it all the time. So let's talk about your team. What do you have coming back? We were fortunate this year. We had great leadership from our senior class. 3 of them were starters, and we had our center fielder and our 2 pitchers, but everybody else is coming back, and that is really awesome from an offensive standpoint. We hit very well this year, and so you think about everybody's going to be a year older. Yep. It's pretty neat, and our IQ in softball is extremely high. I tell people sometimes, like, I've had really good teams before, and that team that we had was probably some of the highest IQ. Wow. Those kids have huge IQ, and they're just real gritty kids, But we have a lot of returners, a lot of starters coming back, and I know that these kids are, for years we've been saying we want to get to Austin, to get to the state semis, right? And, now it's like state finals, like you just keep chipping away, you just keep chipping away and you find, those goals. And, that expectation started though because of all the years. We came in that COVID year and it was hard, and the 2 years after that we kind of had to rebuild. But in 23, that's really where I say who kind of, that 23 team, they wanted to put Smithson Valley back where it had been in history and softball. Nice. And it's just like a legacy now. One of the cool things, our kids today, they understand legacy, and a lot of our kids coach select teams of kids that are going to be possible players of Smithson Valley. They just understand that. Yeah. They understand that they're investing in the future of their program, even if that means in that future, in 6-7 years, they're not going to be here. Yeah. That is tradition.
That's huge. That's huge. Yeah. So talk to me about any holes you have to fill, people who need to step up.
We were very blessed to have 2 pitchers, but we are very lucky that we have a couple of kids who can throw it, and I think that they've been having a great summer, keeping up with them and that kind of thing, and I'm really fired up. Nice. I'm really fired up for that right now.
Nice. Well, let's talk schedule. And what's your philosophy, because you've been there long enough that you're making the schedule now.
Right.
You didn't inherit one.
Right.
What's your philosophy when it comes to non-district opponents? Do you schedule tough so they can be battle tested?
So that was one of the things I had to present yesterday, and it was like what we do, in our season. Mm-hmm. And for February, it was like our tournament time. Yeah. And I talked about how your tournament time needs to be tough. Yeah. You need to give yourself some tough opponents, even if that means that you're going to have adversity, because it's going to help you for when it counts. Yeah. And so I gave the story of 23. In 23, we had a really hard schedule, and in 9 of our games, all of them were a top 10 team, 4A, 5A, 6A, and we were 1-8.
Wow.
And we had to have the conversation of, okay, you guys have played some really tough teams. How are we going to use this tough schedule? We've got to use this right now, and we've got to go. And so some of those kids are still on that team, and they see how playing tough opponents. And so that's something that I really try to do, is we use our tournament time, even if that means sometimes taking a loss, but playing really great competition, because in district play, you want to be your best, right? Yeah. And you want to know that you have prepared yourself for the time that it really counts.
Yeah, and let's talk about district play. How do you see the district shaping up this year?
We have some great teams in our district, and some very talented teams, and a lot of those teams this year, they have a lot of their starters coming back into key roles. Veterans Memorial, I think that they are going to be really salty, this year. New Braunfels is always great. But I think that everybody's going to challenge us. I know that our new, Comal Piper, that they're going to be having talent coming in, and that's great, right? Mm-hmm. You want to have a tough district, and I tell my kids all the time, I welcome adversity. Yeah. I welcome adversity. I don't welcome an easy road, because the easy road is when games are going to get you, right?
That's true.
So I think that, and in district play, everybody's good.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get in the top 4, right?
Right, exactly.
Everybody's going to bring their best, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. All right, so now we're going to do the lightning round. I'm going to say 2 words, and you're going to say whatever speaks to you there.
Okay.
Willie Nelson or George Strait?
Oh, Willie Nelson. I'm sorry. I love George Strait. Please. I'm sorry. But I love Willie Nelson, his voice,
It's funny because you can tell which coaches are political and which ones are don't get me wrong, I like.
Yeah. But I mean, look at all this. I mean, you can't see, but turquoise, like I'm giving Willie vibes right now, you know.
I love it. So much for lightning, right?
I know. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm sorry. I can get off task.
Dogs, cats.
Oh, dogs. I'm terrified of cats. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Hoodies or polos?
Oh, hoodies.
Bucky's or Whataburger?
Oh, Bucky's.
Ribs or brisket?
Ribs.
Nice. Queso or salsa?
Queso.
So talk to me about somebody in softball that you admire.
Is this a lightning round question?
No, it's not. And I'm kind of go into and out of
Well,
lightning.
I would always have to say in softball, I would have to say my college coach.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt, my college coach. You know, I went to college in California. I was 3 states away from my parents. And 9/11 happened when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
That was tough. You know, I wanted to come home. I was terrified, as we all were,
Yeah.
right? And I got homesick. And I'm very close with my parents. And Coach Wright really stepped up as a mom. When I needed a mom, she was, you know, that for me. But from a softball standpoint, I learned a lot about how to do things.
Yeah.
And I learned how to run a program. I learned how to love kids. I learned how to hold kids accountable in hard times and in good times. And you hold kids accountable because you love them enough and you fight for them. Coach Wright, so Fresno State was in fractions of Title IX in the 90s for softball. And when that happens, you have to have a committee to ensure that it never occurs again.
Yeah.
And I had to sit on that committee 3 of my 4 years in college. And I really felt like that kind of opportunity kind of really helped me to understand different things.
Yeah.
Right? And so today, when we're talking about, you know, equity and inclusion and THSCA, you know, Coach Wright was a big reason why I said yes to coming on the board.
Nice.
You know, I talked to her, I talked to Coach Hill, I talked to Coach Garfield, I talked to my parents, talked to my husband, and Coach Wright gave me advice said that if I ever wanted to bring change in the world, I had to do things that nobody else was willing to do.
I love it. I love it. And one more lightning round, and I already know the answer. Longhorns or eggs?
Oh, you know Longhorns, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to my friend Liz. I'm so sorry. And Maddie, I'm so sorry. Kat. Coach Sarkeesian.
I love it. Out of all the softball coaches in Texas high school, who is the most intimidating to coach against?
Sherry Rogers, Waco Midway. I don't even know, but I mean, she's one of the most winningest coaches in high school softball, and she was in charge of. I mean, Waco hasn't missed the playoffs now. It used to be Elgin was in that, but Waco Midway now they hold that torch. But Coach Rogers, I played against her and coached against her in that opportunity when I first started out. I would have to say she is definitely somebody who is extremely up there. I mean, Wade Womack at Dripping Springs. I mean, getting a game from him is tough.
Yeah.
You know, and Wade and I try to match up as much and as often as we can. And I mean, he is an exceptional coach. I'd have to say Wade today because shoot, when you get a game from Dripping Springs, you're like, man, that was tough. You know,
I like
if you can
Right.
get a game, you know.
Right.
That's a good question.
Thank you. I try. Now, out of the whole athletic department there at Smithson Valley, who is the funniest coach?
Coach Hill.
Nice.
Coach Hill is so funny, so witty, so witty. He is the funniest guy. I've said that like 7 or 8 times. In fact, I said it to his wife yesterday.
Nice.
Because he was talking to some coaches and he was giving a story about playing collegiate football against somebody, and they were like, Coach Hill is funny. I said, he is. He is funny. And I said, Miss Hill, Coach Hill is so funny. And she was like, I know.
Well, sweet. Coach, I want to thank you so much
Yeah.
for sitting down with me, and best of luck this coming season.
All right. Go Rangers.
Cool.
Hey Coach, Lone Star Gridiron has been the leader in Coaches Show podcasts for 20 years, and now you can get your own Coaches Show podcast each week during the season as a fundraiser for your booster club. Yes, booster clubs all over are using these podcasts to help their sports programs. You get to share the stories of your program and your kids to a huge audience and make money. We started with just football, but this year have expanded to make them available for all sports. Call 713-269-4620 to find out the details and get your Coaches Show started.